Welcome back, Fantasy Pros. I'm Andrew Erickson, and today I'm breaking down my top 10 trades before week 4. Before I get to my trade target list, unlock the full potential of your team with Trade Central. Pinpoint your strengths, weaknesses, and top trade partners all in one place. Next, stay ahead of the competition by using the Trade Finder to uncover game-changing trades that can take your team to the next level. And finally, before you pull the trigger on any deal, rely on the Trade Analyzer to see how your moves will impact your lineup and your chances of victory. With My Playbook's powerful trade tools at your fingertips, you have everything you need to win every deal and dominate the season. Head to fantasypros.com/myplaybook or download the Fantasy Football My Playbook app today. Now, let's get to the trade targets list. Number 10, DeAndre Hopkins, rest of season rank, wide receiver 47, sell. In the Titans passing game, DeAndre Hopkins led the team with 73 yards and a touchdown on 6 receptions from 7 targets, accounting for a 21% target share. Hopkins only ran a route on 50% of the dropbacks, which is the same as week 2, as the Titans limit the veteran's snaps off of his knee injury suffered this preseason. If any managers in your league believe this is a renaissance performance in week 3, you need to sell high. Trusting any receiver, let alone one playing limited snaps in this Titans passing offense is not something I'd recommend. If you can flip Hopkins for Calvin Ridley straight up, pull the trigger. And the Titans will play the Dolphins in week 4, followed by a week 5 bye week. Acquire Jerome Ford, Tank Dell, Rashid Shaheed, Darnell Mooney, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Eli McConkey for DeAndre Hopkins. Or package him for my first buy low wide receiver. Number 9, Jayden Reed, rest of season rank, wide receiver 29, 5. Jayden Reed was the most targeted player for the Packers in week 3, scoring 4 of 6 targets for 50 yards, good for a 32% target share. Packers had to transform their identity on offense when Jordan Love got hurt the last 2 weeks, but he's expected to return in week 5. And that makes all Packers wide receivers great buy low targets. Reed is my favorite, as he looks like the clear target leader in this offense, posting a team-high 21% target share this season. Packers will play the Vikings, Rams, and Cardinals in their next 3 contests. Sell Michael Pittman Jr., Deebo Samuel, Jalen Waddle, or this next wide receiver for the Packers starting slot receiver. Number 8, DJ Moore, rest of season rank, wide receiver 21, sell. On the receiving end for the Chicago Bears, it was rookie Roma Dunze that led the team with 21% of the targets, hauling in 6 receptions for 112 yards, but the rookie could have had an even bigger day, 234 air yards. His stats were boosted by the sheer volume Caleb Williams was pumping out. 52 passing attempts are not the norm. I hate to be the one that is bearish on a rookie receiver breakout, especially for a top 10 overall pick, but this is one game that will be hard to duplicate. 3 Bears saw double-digit targets, without Keenan Allen even available. Therefore, the move might not be just hold on to Odunze, but instead sell DJ Moore. Moore saw just 90% of the target share, 10 targets, with 8 catches for 78 yards, seeing 3 in the red zone. But his final box score is boosted heavily by the Hail Mary grab at the end of the first half. If you can sell high, that's what I recommend. Again, if it's not this week, though, you can get a strong return. Wait until after they play the Rams and their 32nd ranked pass defense. Acquire Brandon Ayuk, Stephon Diggs, Tony Pollard, Brock Bowers, Ramondre Stevenson, Jameson Williams, Najee Harris for this next buy low running back with DJ Moore. Number 7, J.K. Dobbins, rest of season rank, RB25, 5. The Chargers ground game was spearheaded by J.K. Dobbins in week 3. Carried the ball 15 times for 44 yards, but failed to find the end zone. Gus Edwards chipped in with just 3 carries for 9 yards. It was a disappointing day for Dobbins, but he earned all the yardage available in the tough matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also caught 3 targets for 10 yards. Joe Alt also left the game with an injury of sorts. I guarantee that Dobbins' manager is in full panic mode right now. Justin Herbert's banged up, the offensive line's a little bit banged up, but that's why you can buy low. Because even though the yardage wasn't great in week 3, the rushing share was so heavily favored in Dobbins' favor over Gus Edwards. Keep in mind that the carry totals were 27 for Dobbins and 29 for Edwards entering week 3. Dobbins hit a season-high 65% snap share in week 3. Acquire Dobbins with Michael Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Jackson Smith-Njigba for this next sell-high running back. Number 6, Rachaad White, rest of season rank, RB22, sell. On the ground for the Buccaneers, Bucky Irving took the lead in the backfield with 70 yards on 9 carries, averaging 7.8 yards per carry, falling just short of the end zone. Rachaad White added just 17 yards on 6 carries while playing a massive 74% snap share. He was also stuffed at the 1-yard line, which would have salvaged his fantasy day with a touchdown score. Irving's snaps were relatively the same as the last 2 weeks at 32%, but 2 of his biggest rushes came when White was also on the field. Despite White's early season struggles, the team has not reduced his snaps. However, this is going to change going forward. Todd Bowles has seen enough of White rush attempts for no gain to realize Irving needs more carries. White still has value in PPR leagues as a pass catcher, but his rushing cannot be relied on, and Irving isn't a zero in the passing game either. Flip White before it's too late for the likes of Jameson Williams, Bucky Irvin, Tony Pollard, Najee Harris, Devin Singletary, Jonathan Brooks, Tank Dell, Rashid Shaheed, or this next bye running back, probably my favorite on the list. Number 5, Carson Steele, rest season rank RB 30. Bye. Steele led the Chiefs with 17 rushing yards on 17 carries on Sunday night, averaging 4.2 yards per carry, while Samaje Perine contributed just 25 yards on 6 carries. The rookie received 6 carries inside the 20-yard line with 2 carries inside the 5. He also had 8 rushes inside the red zone this season, but still hasn't scored a touchdown. Steele was at a 62% snap rate versus Perine's 38%, but what was more encouraging for Steele was his deployment in his routes. He ran more routes than Samaje Perine, running one on 50% of the dropbacks. All in all, Steele's role was close to what we've seen from Isaiah Pacheco in this Chiefs offense. And Steele was productive in his first start as the featured guy. Per next-gen stats, despite not gaining a single run of 10-plus yards, Steele gained positive EPA on 12 of 17 carries, while finishing with positive rushing yards over expectations. Steele also forced 3 missed tackles across 18 total touches on the night. On the year, he leads all qualified rushers in rushing success rate at 69%. As a waiver wire ad / undrafted player, Steele doesn't come with the draft capital to warrant an expensive price tag. Because he didn't score on Sunday night, I think he could have been had but much cheaper than what his role in Week 3 suggests his value truly should be. Also, there are many still concerned about Kareem Hunt and Clyde Edwards-Helaire down the road. Please stop the nonsense. So Rachaad White, Javonte Williams, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Puka Nacua, or Jalen Waddle for the Chiefs RB1. Be sure to also sell this next running back. Number 4, DeAndre Swift, rest season rank, RB28, sell. In the rushing game for the Bears, Roschon Johnson led the team with 8 carries for 30 yards, followed by DeAndre Swift, who rushed for 13 times for just 20 yards. Herbert contributed 9 yards on 4 carries. Herbert has been strictly used as the Bears' short yardage back. All of Herbert's red zone attempts were inside the 5-yard line. Swift did also have 2 red zone carries himself for negative 8 yards. Woof. To make matters worse for Swift, Johnson was active in the passing game and also in the red zone, seeing 2 red zone carries. He played 37% of the snaps in his season debut. Rewatching this game, you could barely tell Swift is even the starter. He had another drop as well as a pass catcher, while Johnson was soaking up targets in the second half. It's beyond over for Swift at this point. If he couldn't get it done in this layup matchup against the Colts, it's not going to happen for him in 2024. I missed Swift as a buy low last week, but that doesn't mean I'll go down with the ship. Sell low on DeAndre Swift. Trade Swift for Devin Singletary, Tank Dell, Rashid Shaheed, Carson Steele, Zach Moss, Brian Thomas, Jerome Ford, or Jonathan Brooks, or target this next running back with Swift. Number 3, Najee Harris, rest season rank RB23, 5. Harris was the primary ball carrier on the ground for the Steelers in Week 3, rushing 18 times for 70 yards, but he did not find the end zone. Harris had 4 opportunities in the red zone. He also saw a season-high 59% snap share in Week 3. Meanwhile, Cordell Patterson added 33 rushing yards on 4 carries, averaging 8.3 yards per attempt. Jalen Warren was limited to just 5 yards on 3 carries after leaving the game with a knee injury. Harris caught all 5 of his targets for 16 yards. We could see Patterson take on the Warren receiving role if the latter misses time. Patterson could see even a bigger role as a rusher in Week 4, given that Harris had an arm in his sling, but early reports suggest that Harris should be fine for game day. The Steelers are going to face the Colts and Cowboys in their next 2 games, arguably the league's 2 worst run defense. Then it's Las Vegas, the Jets, and the Giants. Najee Harris should feast on the ground without Jalen Warren in the picture, and I think he's going to find the end zone very soon. He's tied for the NFL lead in red zone carries without a touchdown score yet this season. Buy Najee Harris now with Rachaad White, Jaylen Waddle, Michael Pittman, Javonte Williams, or DJ Moore. Or sell high on this next running back to get Harris back as part of a package. Number 2, Kyren Williams, rest season rank RB7, sell. Kyren Williams led the Rams rushing attack with 24 carries for 89 yards, averaging under 4 yards per carry with 2 rushing touchdowns. Ronnie Rivers chipped in with just 9 yards on 2 carries. Williams was a workhorse, playing 90% of the snaps. He also added another receiving touchdown. He received 10 carries inside the 20-yard mark. It was an unbelievable effort from the Rams running back, akin to a lot of his production from last year. Still, the long-term outlook with the Rams is concerning given the status of the offensive line. I think the safe move is just cash out after a 3-touchdown game that could easily be Williams' peak performance of the 2024 season. The Bears defense on the road can be a much tougher matchup in Week 4, and Williams has not been an efficient rusher at all this season. He's in the bottom 10 in rushing yards above expectation per attempt this season. Acquire James Cook, Joe Mixon, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, Devon Achane, or my number 1 buy low wide receiver while selling high on Kyren Williams. Before I do want some honorable mentions that didn't make the cut. Jameson Williams is a buy. Devin Singletary is a buy. Javonte Williams is a sell. Rashid Shaheed is a buy. Tank Dell is a buy. Jerome Ford is a buy. And Jonathan Brooks for the Carolina Panthers are low-key buys. For further information on these guys, check out my Fantasy Football Week 4 forecast article up on the site. Number 1, Tyreek Hill, rest of season rank, wide receiver 6, buy. Hill caught just 3 passes for 40 yards on 5 targets in week 3, which resulted in a 23% target share. No sugarcoating this one. Skylar Thompson was bad, and he brought Hill's production down with him. But the 4 back-to-back performances have managers panicking on Tyreek Hill. Take a step back and buy low. Tua Tagovailoa still has a chance to return this season, and Miami could turn to Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley as early as week 4 against the Titans. Believe in the talent, buy low on Tyreek Hill. That has about my players to trade target for week 4. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, just not your league mates. And of course, before you go, don't forget, unlock the full potential of your team with Trade Central. Pinpoint your strengths, weaknesses, and top trade partners all in one place. Dominate your deals today at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Thanks for watching, and good luck with those trades.